Hello, everybody. My name is Kemp, and I welcome you to my new project, which in a few words could be described as a journey towards a simpler life for me and my family. For a long time, I've been fascinated by log cabins in the woods and the peacefulness surrounding them. And my dream came true when I managed to buy this lovely house. For the last 20 years it was inhabited, being used as a home by these cute little bats, which unfortunately will have to leave. Luckily there are a couple of caves nearby, so I know they'll be alright. I wouldn't be happy to know they suffer in some way. It's situated in the west part of Romania, near the entrance of the Apuseni Mountains. And it stands here for more than a century. It was built at the end of the 18th century, and it's still in good shape. The conditions in the house are very basic. There's no bathroom, there's no heat source. The water source is near the house. There's a well, but it needs to be cleaned in order to be drinkable. So until the conditions will improve, my family will join me in the weekends mostly. In the rest of the time I will be on my own. The only modern comfort that we have here is the electricity, which is a good thing. We cleaned one room inside, the big one, and organized it so we can sleep in the night. And after that we started with some cleaning around the house. The vegetation started to take over, and it was a lot worse than it looks here. There's a lot to do, and I hope you'll find it interesting enough to join us in this journey.
My wife started to clean the stone foundation and later will fill it again with new cement, which will make it stronger and also look better. Today I also decided to check the attic. I need to clean it and prepare it for the first proper job on this house, which will be the repairing of the roof. This phase will take place very soon, and to be honest with you, I'm a bit anxious about it. There's a lot of interesting stuff lying around. As I found out, the man that used to live here was a weaver working with wool. So there are many pieces here that seems to be from some kind of weaving loom. Unfortunately, I can't recover it, but sure enough, I have lots of materials here to make other useful stuff.
Ce fac?
Învârte fac.
Așa? Bă, da.
Ridic-o în sus. Toată. Așa. Ridic-o afară din oală. Așa și întoarce.
Gata și gata.
Salete-i tot, mama. Tot, mama.
Iau.
Neangă.
This is a small barn where sheep and goats used to be held. We've not decided yet what we're going to do about it. Maybe we'll transform it into a guest house, who knows. For the moment it needs a few patches here and there so rainwater cannot get inside. If we decide at some point to keep animals, it will be much further from the house.
Și calde.
The rafters looked in good condition considering their age. We only had to change 2 of them. On the 3rd day the first rain came. It caught us with the roof only half covered. I got soaked that evening placing all the tarps that I had. The tarps were not enough, but luckily the rain didn't last long. About 3 minutes and then some drizzling during the night. Here and there the wood got a bit wet. We even had a few drops of rain inside the house. But the most important parts of the building were protected. Storm clouds were gathering in the distance, but this time we already managed to cover almost totally the roof with the roof boarding and foil. And the evening came and the rain started to pour down. After an extremely hot day, exhausted and dirty, I couldn't resist taking a refreshing shower. I can assure you, it felt really great. And my mind was at peace this time regarding the house and the rain. After washing by hand about a third of the roof tiles, somebody came with the idea to install a pump in the well and connect it to a pressure pump. This brilliant suggestion helped to facilitate the washing process and to be finished in time for putting them back on the roof. There were more than 2000 roof tiles to be cleaned, and my wife completed almost all this hard labor by herself. We decided to reuse the roof tiles after cleaning them, and they came out looking great. We were considering wood shingles at first, but they are too expensive. Still, I think about that as a future project. I'm glad we could restore and give them new life for who knows how many years to come. I always avoid scrapping things that can be reused. What you saw me throwing away in the last video were bad roof tiles, broken and unusable. I salvage everything like Robinson Crusoe from the shipwreck. The only problem is that I fill up all available spaces with this stuff. Here you can see a before and after of the attic. I'm very happy with the result. It has created a spacious loft which will be transformed in a living space. With hard work from everybody, the completion of the roof renovation went on swimmingly, and thanks God, without incidents. It turned out better than I expected, to be honest, and you must agree with me that it looks great. One evening after the work was finished, I took my family and went down to a nearby creek for a little picnic. The kids enjoy very much these hikes and will definitely make them more often when time allows. And it's also a good chance to show you the surroundings. This place makes me feel like living in the Shire. It wouldn't surprise me if one day a hobbit would pass by our house and greet us in his way.
că ai o parte unde ai mai lung pe
Wow! Așa-i prăjă! Mama, de ce ai făcut așa?
Mi-am salutat cei care mă urmăresc. Cunoște cu mine. Cunoște cu mine. Și așa cu mine. Days are passing by, and the sun is becoming shyer and shyer with the autumn as its host. The nights are getting cooler, and I had to come with a temporary solution for the coming winter. I had this little stove, and I decided to mount it in the room. In the coming period, I'll work at the insulation of this space so it can be livable in the colder months ahead. There was this bricked window where I could easily mount the chimney. In the future, this place will become a door to a back porch. As you can see, the stove is quite small, but it warmed up the air in the room really well. The only issue is that I have to wake up during the night to feed it. Being uninsulated at the moment, the room is losing heat quite fast, even if it's not so cold yet. There are so many walnuts in these trees, but being so big, it's not easy to get them down. We have to be patient and pick them up as they fall by themselves. Taking advantage of these beautiful days, we set off on another trip, this time in a different direction. We are blessed with the beautiful places all around this area. Out of these delicious apples we made apple juice, lots of it. I didn't insist on shaking the trees too much. Being late season apples, we'll enjoy them from the trees, and when the frost will come, we'll store them in the cellar. I'm mostly on my own now. My family is back home and I get to see them only a few days a week. In the weekends when they come here if the weather is nice, or if not, when I go home for a couple of days. It's not an easy time. We cannot call this a home yet, so we cannot be here full time. There's a lot to do to get to that point, and it's going to be a long winter being away from them. We are enjoying more and more this place, and we already start to feel the benefits of living a simple life in a simple wood house. Can't wait the moment when it's finished and the feeling is complete.
Bilbo nu văzuse și nici nu-și imaginase în viața lui așa ceva. Se găseau sus, într-un loc îngust și deoparte a lor, un povărniș înfricoșător cobora până într-o vale întunecoasă.
A Chinese proverb says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And the time came for some tree planting. I'm happy to involve the children in this activity, and they enjoyed it a lot. Probably they will be the ones to enjoy the trees as well in the future.
Vezi de ce se pune așa? Ca să nu meargă apa.
I planted the vine on the corners of the house because I want them to grow over the porch. At one point in the future I will take down the planks that covers it, and this side being oriented towards south will need some shadow.
Așa? Așa?
Da, asta e prima tură, după aia o să... Acolo, așa cum fac eu, așa întors de partea și de alta, ca să
Așa?
se ardă. Bine fac.
Da.
The sunny days are over and I'm alone now, continuing the work on the house renovation. I mounted a light in the attic that will stay here until permanent illumination will be in place. I also covered the holes at the edges and sprayed the walls with some wood treatment solution. The next step will be the insulation. The work is progressing slowly. It's that time of the year when everybody is inside with their families, enjoying the quiet evenings. I can't wait for the next year's cold season when, hopefully, the interior of the house will be finished and we can gather around the stove, listening to the crackling fire, playing games, reading books or watching a Christmas movie together on the projector. The holidays are already approaching and time is passing so quickly. It feels like yesterday when I was working on the roof under the hot sun. I may have accomplished a lot with the house, or perhaps not enough. It's not an easy task. Even though I enjoy it, there are times when I feel overwhelmed. I hope the new year brings renewed energy and that we can steadily progress towards completion.
tot așa. Eu duc capul meu. Lasă așa.
As winter begins to fade away, the temperatures have noticeably warmed up. I'm excited to finally start working on the cabin. I began by spreading the dirt we had removed from the attic, filling in and leveling the paths beside the house. After such a long winter, I quickly felt the strain of physical work, and I know it will take me some time to get back into shape. A significant first step was removing one of the walls inside the house. It was the first major change I made this year. It came down easily, and I finished the job, including cleanup, in just 2 days. The transformation of the space after taking down the wall was remarkable. I happily envisioned the progress of the project and could clearly see the exciting potential of the rearranged space. I began to envision the cabin as a writer's refuge, simple, cozy, and blissfully devoid of interruptions. Though I don't consider myself a writer, I've always held a profound admiration for the written word, elegant fountain pens, and creamy, high-quality paper. This admiration extends to those who possess the gift of expression, crafting beautiful narratives that transcend time. Whenever I found myself in a room filled with books and their particular scent, with an old-fashioned desk and a reading armchair, I felt a wave of inspiration swell within me. Now, as I witness my own little creative nook slowly coming to life, an overwhelming sense of happiness envelops me. With the calming crackle of the stove in the background, a steaming cup of tea in hand, and the gentle wisps of smoke from my pipe curling around me, I start to appreciate the profound beauty of quiet, peaceful winter days, an experience I had only known from the books I read. In a cozy haven like this, I can fully embrace the stillness, finding comfort in the simple pleasures of minimalism and the art of creation. These days I've been insulating the attic. The size of the task feels overwhelming, and I can't help but think about all the steps ahead. Plastering, painting, and everything else before I can finally see the finished result. There are moments when I feel small, alone and helpless, doing things I've never done before, unsure of where to begin or what steps to take at each stage of the renovation. However, once I picked up my tools and began working, things started to take shape. I've learned that when faced with something complicated or daunting, the key is simple. Just start. Take a deep breath, take that first step, and trust that everything else will follow. As the wise man once said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This is my first spring in an environment I once only dreamed of. The feeling is nothing short of wonderful. I'm deeply connected to nature, experiencing every small change as it awakens. I notice each new bud as it grows, hear the songs of birds I've never heard before. So many new voices filling the air. Being alone here feels like I've been invited to a grand spectacle, one reserved for the initiated, those with eyes to see it. I've waited for this, somehow even foreseen it. This place is truly magical. Over the years, we've carried so much dead weight, complicating our lives to the point where we no longer distinguish truth from lies, good from evil, or beauty from ugliness. The more I let go, the clearer my path becomes, and I realize there is a deep peace in simply being present, living with what's essential. Moments of quiet beauty like these give me the strength I need for the big task ahead. But they also make it clear how little we truly need. In the simplicity of living here, surrounded by the beauty of nature, I've found what truly nourishes the heart. I love this simplicity, this minimalistic lifestyle. It feels like I'm living as Thoreau did on the shore of Walden Pond. And I think it's time to revisit that book.
l'ho voluto così. Yeah, everything. Check.
Da, le mici.
Tata, uite cum se îndoaie. Este o frunză.
Tu ce faci?
Să ce
As spring strengthens, nature's beauty becomes more apparent each day. The air carries the scent of renewal, and the land awakens in ways that remind me why I chose this life. But with the changing season comes work. Good, honest work that connects us to the land. It was time to gather birch sap, a task I hadn't done in quite a while. The process felt familiar yet distant, as if I were rediscovering an old rhythm. Therefore I embraced it fully, letting the ritual pull me deeper into the season and being thankful to God for all His gifts to us. We also built a raised bed and planted onions, radishes and salad greens, leaving space for the tomatoes and asparagus we'll plant later. I hope all goes well and our efforts will bear fruit, literally and figuratively, and that one day we'll gather around the table, sharing a feast grown with our own hands. But nature is unpredictable and patience is key. Therefore we plant not just with hope but with trust in the process, knowing that whatever grows will be a gift. What excites me most is seeing the children dive into these activities with joy. Their hands in the soil, their eyes wide with curiosity, they are learning and so are we.
Ikä lähtelee.
Spring is unpredictable. One strong wind from the north brought winter back, snow, cold and silence. The cherry trees suffered, no fruit this year, and we haven't had a chance to taste from them yet. So I retreated indoors, pipe in hand, coffee close, letting my thoughts wander while finishing insulation in the attic. Then I went home for Easter. A few days with family and friends, laughter, warmth, tradition. I returned together with my family, grateful to spend these days of renewal here at Kemp's Lodge. There's something sacred about being together in this season, when the land is waking up again and so are we. We shared our Easter meal outside under the trees. The table was simple but full, and so were our hearts.
Meu. Adevărata viață. Aha!
I pitched a small tent for the little ones near the edge of the yard, and I turned it into a castle, a pirate ship, a reading nook, whatever their imagination allowed. My wife and I found quiet moments too, lying in the hammock, listening to the birds, reading, sometimes just swaying and saying nothing. These weren't busy days, but they were full of laughter carried by the wind, full of the kind of silence that only comes when everyone feels at peace. It's in these slow, ordinary moments that I'm reminded what this life is really about. Not just fixing roofs and cutting wood, though that has its place, but building a home where love lives, where our children are free to be wild, creative and unhurried, where we, as parents, learn to stop and be present. We don't need much, just each other and the time to truly see one another. There was rest, yes, but also one good day of work. In between the long, lazy afternoons and the laughter of children, I carved out a moment to continue working at the summer shower. So we cleared the ground, moved away some stacked roof tiles, swept away the leaves and broken branches, and laid the first planks for the floor. There's a satisfaction in creating something useful with your own hands, especially when it grows out of the scraps of what was once forgotten. Just like this place, nothing wasted, everything with purpose.
Și când acolo avea atâtea adâncituri, atâtea.
We just harvested our first baby onions, and I'm sure they're the best I've ever tasted. These little moments of us working together, the youngest one putting in the most effort, these are the memories I'll carry with me forever. Time moves so quickly. All we can do is create beautiful moments while we can.
Și a mea face. Așa. Și la mine. Vezi? Și la mine seara. Care veni dacă își face cu alunile alea și a... Ce fac? Maya. Aia e mica mea.
Nu ca toți.
Bread baked in a Dutch oven over the fire. There's nothing like it. Paired with fish and chips cooked the same way, honestly, it's better than anything a fancy restaurant could offer.
Ce mare bună.
One day we had a visit from a good friend and his family. The kids were thrilled to spend time outdoors together. He gave me a hand mowing the grass, and afterward we took a walk to the cave I discovered last autumn. The children were eager to explore, and it didn't disappoint. It's a beautiful, mysterious place. I'd love to spend the night there with the kids sometime. The cave has a curious name, the Fugitive Cave. It makes me wonder who was hiding there and why. I like to imagine they were outlaws like Robin Hood, freedom fighters. In our region we had men like that, called haiduks. They stood up against injustice. There's something inspiring about that. One of the big tasks we've been working on is repointing the stone foundation of the cabin. My wife prepared one side of the house last autumn by removing the old mortar, but cold weather set in before we could finish. So we postponed it until spring. I used a mix, 2 parts lime, 1 part cement and 1 part sand. I blended it with ready-made mortar to get the right consistency.
Le-am pus online.
Roșie. Prima este roșia. Auzit?
We filled the last empty patch in our garden with tomato seedlings. It's complete now. Onions, tomatoes, salad and radishes. It's modest, but it's a perfect start. With time and experience, we hope to expand into something bigger. Enough to grow most of what we eat. I finished the outdoor shower, a temporary fix for the summer, but it feels like more than that. Built with scrap wood, leftovers from clearing the land, it reminded me of the Swiss family Robinson. A story close to my heart and to our children's too. There's something about building with what you have, figuring it out as you go. It's not always easy, but there's adventure in it. And slowly we move closer to self-reliance.
place.
O să mai facem.
Mi-am mers cu sabia la lup.
My wife and the kids gathered elderflower blossoms, their scent drifting through the warm spring air. They're making juice from them, one of our favorite treats this time of year. It's small things like this that makes the season feel alive.
Până de tot la fel. Iar dacă aș fi în locul bătrânului Merge, aș ști cum să fac să vrea să fie.
The rain brought new growth, and with it, more work. At first it felt like a chore, but now I'm starting to enjoy it. There's rhythm in it, effort, yes, but also peace. And it's the kind of exercise that feels good. Real work, real movement. While I was busy with other tasks, my wife kept going on the foundation, chiseling off the old mortar, preparing it for the next step, repointing, rebuilding. We each have our part. Side by side, piece by piece, this place is becoming ours. We didn't get to taste cherries this year. A late freezing wave in May took most of them. But the sour cherries, somehow, they were spared. On our small tree near the house there were plenty. So we picked a good quantity and later they became a delicious sour cherry syrup. Meanwhile I worked on building 2 outdoor tables, using scrap wood and small tree trunks I had collected a few weeks ago. This kind of work, and I repeat myself, it really brings me joy. There's something deeply fulfilling about giving all discarded wood a second life. Some would see these planks as nothing more than firewood, but to me they hold potential, stories even. I love crafting simple, rustic furniture out of what others might throw away. It feels right, it aligns with this life we're building. One that's slow, intentional and beautifully undemanding. A few days after they were picked up, my wife worked on preparing the sour cherry syrup. The sweet, rich aroma filled the house, a small, delicious reward from this land we're learning to care for. The warm weather called us to the nearby river, where the cool water made the hot summer days much more bearable. The kids spent hours splashing and laughing, throwing rocks and searching for tiny fish between the stones. They truly love the water, and so do we. The rain has finally come, a long-awaited relief after the dry spell that felt endless. Our well had given up, leaving us thirsty for this downpour. And with it, gentle breeze cools the air, a welcome companion to the hard work that lies ahead. With every drop of rain, we grow closer to our goal, and as we move forward, we let our children explore this space freely. Here they can run wild and connect with the land, discovering its quiet secrets day by day. We've gathered our materials, ready to prepare the ground inside the house for the concrete slab. This step is significant in our journey, and if all goes well, we'll have the fire stove set up on this slab before the cold sets in. The work is hard but incredibly fulfilling, For us, not accustomed with this level of physical exertion, it feels like a real accomplishment. One that builds our strength and confidence in ourselves for whatever lies ahead.
Asta numai pe funcție. Din spate, din picioare.
Some days, when the air is thick with heat and our skin is layered in dust and sweat, we lay down our work and wander down to the river. There the children splash and laugh, and we sink into the water's easy embrace. We step into the current, warm from the heating sun, yet carrying a coolness that wraps around us, making a hot day easier to endure.
bea cu apă.
One morning, our kids found a hedgehog in the yard. And before I knew it, we had a new pet. What we didn't know then is that this little hedgehog would end up teaching them a life lesson we didn't see coming. We mostly fed the hedgehog cat food, but the highlight of the day, at least for the kids, was the evening feeding. They'd spend hours catching grasshoppers, keeping them in little boxes, and then proudly bringing them out as a special treat. And there we were, watching this wild creature crunch away from the palms of our children's hands. In the beginning, it was almost funny to watch. As soon as the kids held the grasshopper near its nose, the hedgehog would hop forward, snatching it like it hadn't eaten in days. But after those first bites, it calmed down, gently taking the insect straight from their fingers, crunching away with this greedy little rhythm. The kids couldn't get enough of it, and honestly, neither could we. There was something incredible about seeing this wild creature so close, trusting our children and offering us a glimpse of raw, real nature unfolding right before our eyes.
Come here, where are you going?
The days are flying by, and with each sunset I feel a little more worried that we won't finish everything we planned for Kemp's Lodge this year. There's still time, but the days are getting colder and shorter. The hours rush by as if trying to escape our desperate grasp. We kept pouring cement in the last sections inside the house and down in the cellar. It was hard work, really hard. This time my father-in-law came to help, since I couldn't find anyone in the village. Having him here made a huge difference. Before we could pour the cement, I had to haul out wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of earth and rubble. Honestly, that was the toughest part for me. My wife, as always, was right there beside me, lifting some of the weight off my shoulders.
Am dat unul mare ca să mănânce.
Am dat unul mare.
Ce-i place?
Hai. Acolo, lângă piciorul meu.
Mai vrea? Îi mai dau? Salată din cartofi, salată de pește. Asta era să mai bine. Asta de fapt. Ceva. Wow. Da. Cum a fost, mă?
Facem așa, ok.
Dar amândoi bun.
Da, fiecare are specificul lui.
Mai bun ăsta. Amândoi.
Deci.
Wow, chiar că... Vine o aia rece din peșteră.
Deci să nu pună mâna pe lilie, n-ai voie. Nu, lilie!
Foarte important să avem.
Aici nu mai avem voie.
Puneți telefonul.
Avem voie.
Vedem mai...
Avem aici.
Asta
Ce
e.
avem voie să
Deci
strigăm
mai mare
aici?
și stă la soară.
Ce avem voie să strigăm aici?
There's always so much to do around Camp's Lodge, and never quite enough time to do it all. Some days it feels like I'm just chasing after unfinished projects and broken promises. One of those promises was to my kids. Almost a year ago, I told them I'd build a bunk bed. They've reminded me more than once with that mix of patience and hope only children seem to carry. And now, finally, it's time to make it real. I still remember being their age and dreaming of a bunk bed of my own. It always seemed like a little piece of magic. Something you'd see in movies or cartoons, where brothers and sisters climb up and down like it's their own fortress. I never had one growing up, but my kids will, and today is the day we start building.
Lasă-l un pic așa.
I finally managed to finish the cellar door these past few days. I knew it wouldn't be an easy task when I started, but I didn't expect it to turn into such a complex one either. I chose to keep the old door, it still looked good, carried a rustic charm and wore the kind of time-worn patina that can't be recreated. The frame, however, was in a much worse condition, so I replaced it. Fitting the old door onto a new frame turned out to be more of a challenge than I imagined. There are still a few gaps I need to mask and fill, but overall the job is finally done.
Wow.
These must be the biggest mushrooms any of us has ever seen. Finding them just a stone's throw from our cabin filled me with a mix of gratitude and awe. The sheer size of just 4 mushrooms could have been enough to feed several families. I'm still amazed by the abundance and quiet wonders that nature continues to reveal.
Deci că e mie încet asta. Deci este mare, aproape că...
Da, făcut așa. astea mai am crezut că n-ați mereu. Hai,
Amidst the usual chores and preparations for the colder months, I was able to complete the interior installation of the house. I had waited for the cooler temperatures to finish this project, and now it's finally done.
Ce se întâmplă ceva?
Nu știu.
6. 1, nu, stai. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Da.
Aici putem...
With the insulation finally complete, the next step is to replace the windows. But that's a decision that needs some careful thought. I can't just install any modern frame on this old cabin. It has its own character and I want to preserve that. So for now I'm torn between restoring the originals or searching for second-hand windows that would blend naturally with the space. I have plenty of time before me this winter to find a solution. My wife was delighted to move our temporary kitchen indoors. With the colder weather approaching, it's a relief that she can now cook comfortably inside. Each step forward may be small, but every one of them is meaningful and important.
Valenca, nu am mâncat. Tu ai mâncat, Andrei?
Mâncat.
Hai.
A husband, wife, and their 2 children decided to leave the noise of the city behind to build a true home and live a more meaningful life. It's been a while since we began this journey, a full year since we first sat to work on this old place. Some might say that's plenty of time to settle in, while others might argue it's barely enough. What I know for certain is that a lot has happened since then, and we've learned even more along the way. The renovation hasn't always moved as steadily as we hoped, but I knew from the beginning this would be a challenge. One that would test my patience, my skills, and my determination.